anything. I'm naked. I'm sick. I ain't no money. I ain't no food. But I know what? I ain't asking nobody for nothing. That'll last for about one day. Maybe 1 hour. You know, that's a good point. When it comes to fasting, I made it one meal. I fasted breakfast, praise God, but I'm eating lunch. I ain't making fun of nobody. I'm just saying how it's easy if we get hungry. Okay? Think about it, though. Jesus isn't saying for you to have nothing. He isn't saying for you to be poor. Be poor in spirit. And folks, one thing that God is speaking over the church today is that people are apathetic. And part of that apathetic word is pathetic. Their worship is pathetic. Their attitudes are pathetic. All of that. Their heart for God, their desire for God, all of that is pathetic. Apathetic, apathy is this. You stop longing for God. You stop caring about what God cares about. You're no longer hungry for God because you already are taking care of yourself. You're healthy. Your family's healthy. You've got a job. You've got everything, and therefore you don't think you need God. And folks, this is what Jesus said to a church who didn't think they needed Him in this way. Well, we came to church and we believe in Jesus. We don't really need Him because we're taking care of ourselves. We got hot water and cold water coming into our town. We've got gold. We've even got this fine hospital in our town. We even created this salve that helps people see and helps them and that makes them more healthy. You know what? We're in need of nothing. God said to them, don't you see that you're poor and naked? You're needy. I tell you to come and buy gold from me. He says, come buy salve from me. He said, but because you are neither hot nor cold, my stomach, I can't stomach you. I vomit you out of my mouth. He dealt with everything that was going on in their city. Because they had everything physically, materially, financially they ever wanted. But because of that, they became apathetic. They no longer desired God the way they first did. They no longer desired His calling. They no longer felt a need for God. And folks, the church today, I wonder if they feel like they need God. Do they have that poor spirit that no matter what they have in this world, they understand something? That if it were not for God, they would be nothing. If it were not for God, they would have nothing. Regardless. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Does that mean I've got to be walking around crying all the time? Does that mean I'll be all the time walking around and oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord, just walking around all the time? That's not what that means. It means that you are in mourning over sin activity in others' lives. And you see the results. Not that you're judging, but you see the result of what that person is doing, how they're harming themselves. They're harming their children. They're harming their wives or their husbands. They're harming other people. They're harming the church. They're harming this. They're just living a destructive lifestyle. And they're allowing sin to just reign in their lives. And you're not judgmental. You actually mourn. Because sin is in the world and it really bothers you. Sin bothers you. I'm concerned today for the church that sin bothers us. We seem to dabble in sin. We seem to think how far over we can get to sin. How close? You know, I dealt with a man one time. He said, how far can we go before sin? It's like, I don't care. I don't want to know. I want to stay as far away as I possibly can. I don't want to go to the edge because I might fall off the edge. You ever looked over a cliff that's like 100 feet or better? And you may be back here 5 feet away from it. That's close enough you want to be. And some of you daredevils, you think you can get up there and do that. Just the wrong wind shifts and you're gone. You think about it. I don't want to get to that age. I don't want to get to that point. I want to know what it means to get close to God, not far from God. And getting close to God is getting away from sin. Stop making excuses for sin. Stop dabbling in sin. And well, what's sin, Pastor? You know what sin is. You know what sin is. Don't play that game with me.
Amen.
Yeah, I totally agree with my grandpa who's passed away. But when he's on this earth, there's a lot of things I didn't agree with him, but I respected him. He came to this church. One thing he said that I couldn't argue with, you know you're going to sin before you do it. For the most part, that is true. Are you going to make excuses for it? See that? There's a difference. Now, blessed are the meek. Is meek weak? No. Meek is not weak at all. Actually, it takes a stronger person to be meek. Because in the meekness is humility. You don't need to be heard. You don't need people to see you. You don't need to be powerful. You're not needing any of the things the world is after. You see? The world is going after the money and the power. They're going after this because they want to be recognized. They want all this fame. They want all this fortune. They want all this stuff. And they're willing to give anything up for it to get it. I've got a new study coming out, a new sermon series coming out you guys are going to be totally blown away with. Coming up. Many people that have sold their soul to the devil just to get the power and the fame and the talent. But if you're meek, you don't care about that kind of stuff. You don't need that kind of stuff. God brings it to you. God blesses you with it, and you're thankful. Even if you have huge tracts of land. Okay? Even if you have acres upon acres. Even if you have a nice house. If you have a nice car. If you have a healthy family. If you have all your needs met. You know what? In your heart, you're like, you know what, Lord, I'm so thankful for this. But it's not going to change me. That's a meek person. He says you'll inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. Are you hungry for God? It goes back almost in kind of in line with the poor in spirit. Are you hungry for God's righteousness? Do you thirst after Him like David did? David was a king. And he wrote in one of the Psalms, in Psalm 42, as the deer panteth for the water, so my soul longs after you. As someone who's in a dry, weary, parched land. Imagine yourself in a desert. Imagine yourself in Death Valley right now. In the middle of the day. I know why you're saying change God. Well, yeah, you would. But imagine yourself trying to get through Death Valley. Okay? Imagine how dry and parched it is. Imagine how, just like it says, it's dead everywhere. Everyone who's tried to go across it didn't make it. Unless you had something to assist you. Imagine being there. Imagine how thirsty you would be. Imagine how hungry you would be. Imagine just longing to get to the other side. And get to the creeks and the meadows and the trees and the shade and all of that. How you would long for that. That's what David said. That's how I long for God. And folks, do we long for God? The merciful. Blessed are the merciful. They'll obtain mercy. How merciful are you with other people? You know? How do you treat them? And maybe they do make a mistake. Or maybe, you know, they don't do everything you think they ought to do. How merciful are you with them? When someone even wrongs you, how merciful are you with them? Understand what mercy is. It doesn't mean you're getting run over by someone. Okay, that's different. But you're merciful, you're understanding. They may not have all the talents you have. They may not be in their walk with God like you are. Maybe you've been walking with the Lord the last 25 years. And you grow this much. This person over here hasn't had a chance to grow yet. You're putting them down for it. Your growth withers. You do that. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. I don't know about you, but I want mercy from God. If I'm not forgiving to others, how can I expect forgiveness? If I'm not merciful to others, and I put other people down, I'm judgmental, I'm harsh with other people, how can I expect? There's something I've noticed. The harshest people with others are the ones that have the softest heart whenever they're being dealt with. Well, I can't believe this. Can't, you know. Wait a minute. Folks, if you want to dish it out, they'll be able to take it. As an old saying around my house growing up. Amen? What are you going to dish out? You're going to dish out harshness and unmercifulness. You're going to dish out mercy. Think about it. Now, blessed are the pure in heart. Pure in heart. What does that mean, to have a pure heart? Why are you doing what you're doing? That's what it means. Why do you come to church? Well, if I don't, they'll just think that of me. I really like coming here, but I guess I'll do. Now, about you kids, too bad, so sad. Your parents said go, you go. You're responsible to do that, children. I'm not a child. I'm a teenager. You're a child. Okay? I'm not putting you down. It's just a fact of life. Well, I just don't like going. I'd rather stay at home. Well, you're going to go. Because the Bible says honor your father and mother, or you're going to die. Right? That's what it says. But, talking to the adults here, why are you doing what you're doing? I know kids are going to have to do what they have to do because mom and dad makes them. That's just part of it. You learn after discipline. You learn through discipline. You mature through discipline. And then you make a choice one of these days to continue following Christ or not when you become an adult. But right now, you have to because your mom and dad said so. There it is. Like it or lump it, my mom used to say. But as an adult, why are you doing what you're doing? Why do you come to church? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? What's your attitude? Because overall, God sees your heart. He sees your heart. Why are you in any certain ministries in this church? Well, they needed somebody to fill that position. Well, I've got news for you. If you're only filling the position just to have a warm body, you're in the wrong area. Well, Shannon, if I leave, who's going to take my place? I'm not worried about that.